This video is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc. If you're looking for cards in the US, look no further as you can use the promo code MTGMudsta to get you 5% off anything on the site. Or if you're in Canada like me, you can use the same promo code at Multizone to get 10% off your orders of singles. If cards aren't what you're looking for, Original Magic Art has playmats, tokens, and sweet art that you can use that same promo code to help you get 5% off your order there. If you're looking to bling out your cards, using Alter Sleeves is a great way to do so, and you can click the affiliate link in my About section to help out the channel as you make an order. And if you just want to help out the channel, you can always consider becoming a patron for as little as $1 a month and join the generic Goblin Gang. Hey gang, and welcome back. Before we get into today's game, I want to talk about something very serious and mention a warning for everyone who's watching this video. Unfortunately, Scott is playing his unsleeved, heavily played or worse deck, so viewer discretion is required. The commander of that deck is Morophon, and Scott keeps a Gemhide Sliver, Changeling Outcast, Forest, Yuriko, the First Sliver, Vivid Marsh, and Sylvia Brightspear. I am playing my Zedruu deck, keeping a River Glide Pathway, Bucknard's Everfull Purse, Mountain, Paradox Haze, Rhystic Study, Enchanted Evening, and 9 lives. Omar is playing Licia, keeping Divinity of Pride, Exquisite Blood, Children of Corliss, Talisman of Hierarchy, Bajuka Bog, Bright Climb Pathway, and Amiria's Call. Adam is back with his Magda deck, keeping Soul Ring, Springleaf Drum, 2 Mountains, Fearless Liberator, Goldspan Dragon, and a Proteus Machine. Omar wins the die roll and starts us off. Omar plays a Bright Climb Pathway and taps it for a white to cast Children of Corliss, passing to Adam. Adam plays a Mountain and casts a Springleaf Drum. Scott plays a tap Vivid Marsh, putting 2 counters on it. I play a River Glide Pathway and pass to Omar. Omar plays a Mountain and taps 2 for Talisman of Hierarchy. He then bops Scott for 1 and passes to Adam. Adam plays another Mountain and casts Soul Ring. He then taps it and a Mountain for Magda, and once she's out, uses the Springleaf Drum to tap her to make a red mana, plus makes a treasure for Magda's ability. He uses the floating mana and sacrifices the treasure to cast a Fearless Liberator, passing to Scott. Scott plays a Forest and taps 2 for Gemhide Sliver. I play a Mountain and drop the new edition of Bucknard's Everfull Purse, which Adam is not upset to see. Omar plays a tap Shambling Fence and swings the children at Adam this time. Adam takes the 1, and Omar passes. Adam plays out a Mountain for turn, and then taps enough mana for Torbran. He swings Magda at me and the Liberator at Omar. This has Magda making 2 treasures, and Omar and I can't block, with Omar taking 5, while I take 4 commander damage. And Adam then passes turn. Scott taps his mana to cast Sylvia. She enters, and lets Scott go and find Korvath, although considering how heavily played the copy is, it really could have been any card. He then passes to me. In my main phase, I activate my purse, and roll a 3 on the d4, making 3 treasures. I then use them to help cast Zedruu, and I pass the purse to Scott, and then pass the turn to Omar. Omar plays a tap Skyclave Basilica as his land for turn, and taps 2 for Sword of the Anime. He gears up the Children of Corliss with it, and swings it at Scott. Omar grabs a land first, and Scott then blocks a Sylvia. Omar then passes, and at the end of turn, Adam uses the drum to tap Torbran, and has Magda make him a treasure. Adam plays a Mountain, and then taps enough for a Goldspan Dragon. He has a scary amount of mana at this point, and Adam then goes to combat. He swings the Dragon and Liberator at Omar, and Magda and Torbran at me. He gets 3 treasure tokens from tapping them, and I drop to 26, with 8 commander damage from Magda noted, while Omar goes to 25. Adam then passes. Scott activates the purse in his main phase and rolls a d4, hitting a 4 and making 4 treasures. He then moves to combat, and swings at Adam with Sylvia. In his second main phase, he uses the treasures and the Gemhide to cast the First Sliver. He cascades, hitting Grim Captain's Call, which he does not cast. Scott then casts a Changeling Outcast, and we fast track the cascade in the sense that Scott doesn't have any 0 drops, so we don't even bother. At the end of turn, Adam then sacrifices 5 treasures to Magda's second ability, and goes to find an artifact or a dragon. He puts to field an Academy Manufactor. I untap, and on my upkeep, resolve my Zedruu trigger, gaining 1 and drawing 1, and then drawing in my draw step. I play a tapped Irrigated Farmland, and then drop Mystic Remora, passing to Omar. Omar plays a tapped Bajuka Boggs' land for turn, and exiles Adam's non-existent graveyard. He then takes an Ouchie from the Talisman to help cast Divinity of Pride, and passes. Adam draws, and activates the purse, rolling a 1 on the d4. This has him making a clue token and a food token in addition thanks to the Academy Manufactor. He then drops an Ancient Tomb as his land for turn, and goes to combat. The Goldspan heads at Scott while the Dwarves go to Omar. He makes a treasure token from the dragon attacking, which makes a clue and a food token as well, and then 3 more treasures from Magda seeing Dwarves tapped, making that many morph clue and food tokens. Omar blocks Magda with the Divinity, and then they take their hits. Omar gains some life from the Divinity, but drops to 20, while Scott takes the 6. Adam then recasts Magda in his post-combat main phase, and takes 2 from tapping the tomb to help put out a morph creature. Scott plays an island for turn, and goes at Adam with the Outcast Changeling. It is double strike because of Sylvia, which is irrelevant because before damage, Scott ninjutsus out Yuriko. Adam then takes the 1, and Scott flips his top card. It's Scarab God, and we all take 5. In his post-combat main phase, Scott then taps the Gem Hide to recast the Outcast, and passes to me. I resolve my Zedruu trigger once more, gaining 1 and drawing a card, and then drawing for turn. I pay the 1 for the Remora trigger, but apparently no one's playing non-creature spells. I then pass through my phases, moving to my end step, and discard Starfield of Nyx and Enchanted Evening, passing to Omar. Omar starts his turn off by activating the purse and rolls a 1, getting 1 treasure. He then plays an untapped Emeria Shatter Skyclave, and losing 3 so it comes in untapped, and then casts a Veto, and then pays 5 mana for Licia, Shroud of Dusk. He passes, which has Adam sacrificing some treasures for 2 mana each. He uses that mana to sacrifice some clue tokens to draw a card. He then does it again to draw even more. Adam isn't done though, and sacrifices 5 treasures to tutor for a dragon or an artifact, and puts to field a Maskwood Nexus. Adam draws and plays a mountain. Every creature on his field and in his deck is a dwarf now, and he plays an Eldrazi Monument. He takes 2 from the last trigger, and doesn't pay for the more trigger letting me draw. Adam then goes to combat, and at the beginning of the combat step, I use Cyclonic Rift to try and bounce Magda back to his hand, so he doesn't gain a zillion treasures. Adam responds by using Tybalt's Trickery, also losing 2 to the Angel, and I draw from the Remora, and Adam then rolls to see how many I mill, hitting 2. I then exile off the top until I hit Fires of Invention, and Magda sticks around unfortunately. Adam then moves to declare attackers and sends this pile of 3 at Omar, Magda at me, and the Manufactor and Morph at Scott. This makes him 6 treasure tokens, clue tokens, and food tokens. All of his stuff also is flying and indestructible because of the monument, not to mention +1/+1 from it, a +1/+0 from Magda, and will deal 2 additional damage from Torbran. Omar uses Licia to block the dragon, and then damage is dealt, with Omar dropping a 5, Scott taking the 7, and I take 5 more Magda damage. Adam then passes turn. Scott seems to be really struggling for lands, and taps enough to cast Mass Appeal, and doesn't pay for the Remora. I draw, and he draws 3, and then plays an Ancient Ziggurat. And goes to combat, swinging the Changeling at Adam, and Yuriko at Omar. Omar blocks Yuriko with Veto, and Scott connects with the Changeling dealing 1, and revealing Herobraz Druid dealing 2 more. He forgets to reveal off the second hit though, which is unfortunate. In his second main phase, he then casts the Druid and discards down to 7. I untap, and in my upkeep, responding to the Zedruu trigger, activate my purse. I roll a d4 hitting 3, and give the purse to Scott, making 3 treasures. I then resolve the trigger, gaining 1 and drawing 1, and then drawing for turn. I play a Plains as my land drop, and realize I didn't pay for the Remora trigger, and not wanting it anyway, let it go to the graveyard. I then play a Paradox Haze, enchanting myself with the Aura, and then cast Statecraft as my 2 free spells for the turn, thanks to Fires of Invention. I then ship it to Omar. Omar plays a Nyx Fleece Ram in his main phase, and gears up Vito with the Sword of the Anime before passing. At the end of turn, Adam sacrifices 5 treasure tokens to Magda's ability. He searches through his library and puts out a Bogard and Hellkite. It hits the field, and he assigns damage to take out Zedruu and the Gemhide's liver. Responding to this, I activate Zedruu and try and donate Statecraft to Adam. Adam then takes 2 by tapping the Ancient Tomb and sacks a treasure to help cast Chaos Warp and targets my Statecraft. I shuffle it into my library and then reveal at the top a Ghostly Prison, which isn't awful. Adam untaps for his turn and has his Monument trigger to resolve. He responds by activating the Nexus to make a blue dwarf token and sacrifices it to the trigger. He then draws for turn, and Adam pays the 4 needed to swing the Hellkite and Torbrand at me, with the rest of his board going at Scott and a morph creature going at Omar. Omar and I can't block, with Adam doing enough to take us out, and Adam also gains 8 treasures, clues, and food tokens from tapping his now giant dwarven army, and Adam then passes. Scott plays another island, and taps 6 for Korvath Brightflame, at least I think anyway. He goes all out at Adam, and before moving to blocks, Adam sacrifices 5 treasures to use Magda's ability. He finds and puts to field Sky Sovereign, which as it enters, deals 3 to Yuriko, and then sacrifices some treasures to activate his food tokens to gain him 6 life. Adam then drops to 10, and Scott had banked a lot on Yuriko being out when he dealt the damage, scoops it up to Adam knowing he's dead. Game review time. So I think Magda performed even better than she did the first game around, and that's saying something. Adam got to showcase some pretty sweet cards like the Goldspan Druid, Maskwood Nexus, but I think my favorite is probably the Academy Manufacturer. Even if he didn't need them, it still adds a lot of value to the deck, and it could make a card like Hellkite Tyrant, becoming a win condition for his deck. I'm sorry I had to subject you all to that awful deck of Scott's. I'm not entirely sure why he decided to display his perversion all over my screen, but that's what it is. And despite the fact that he didn't actually cast his commander, it was pretty neat to see how well Changelings worked with all those 5-color lords. Omar's Licia deck unfortunately did not do very much. On the other hand, I'm really glad I re-sleeved up my Zedruu deck, and some of the new inclusions have been particularly spicy. One of my absolute favorite new cards is Bugnar's Everfull Purse, and as you saw, it helped elevate the game a little bit, and at the same time, donated itself away while ramping me, which is exactly what Zedruu wants. This video wouldn't be possible without the help from my sponsors, Cool Stuff Inc., Multizone, Original Magic Art, and Alter Sleeves. But it definitely wouldn't be possible without the help from you, the viewers, and my patrons. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and to remember, friends are just opponents you haven't eliminated yet.